supporting the warfighter. It's our goal and the driving force behind everything we do here at the AMR deck. The work we do will give our soldiers the edge they need to successfully complete their mission. And typically it takes significant time before the technologies that we develop reach the hands of the warfighter. Our Prototype Integration Facility, or PIF, has changed that. For the last 10 years, the PIF has used the talents and intellect of a dedicated mix of government and industry partners to provide the warfighter with rapid solutions to problems both large and small, and today the PIF is the model of rapid response throughout the Army. The bottom line with the PIF is that we deliver. We deliver what the warfighter needs, when he needs it, where he needs it, and we do it rapidly.
In 2012, the U.S. Army delivered a specially modified Black Hawk helicopter to the U.S. State Department. The Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs took delivery of the last modified Black Hawk for deployment south of the border. The State Department transferred these aircraft to the government of Mexico, where they will support the federal police with transport, communications, and search and rescue missions. As part of a complex upgrade, these aircraft were rapidly modified and outfitted with a satellite-based command, control, and communication system, similar to that used in U.S. Army helicopters, providing video surveillance as a real-time eye in the sky for Mexican police. When the Army project manager in the State Department needed these modifications done rapidly and on budget, they turned to an organization that has earned a reputation for innovation and getting the job done.
And we spent a lot of time and got superb support from people like here at Redstone to get equipment down there fast, on time and online and on schedule.
Designing and implementing the modifications to these Black Hawks was just the latest achievement for a remarkable organization known as the PIF. PIF stands for Prototype Integration Facility, and today it is a key component of the U.S. Army's Aviation and Missile Research, Development, and Engineering Center, located on Redstone Arsenal, a major Army installation just outside of Huntsville, Alabama. The PIF works as a rapid response unit, finding solutions to urgent needs of our operational armed forces and other government needs. Over the last decade, the PIF has completed over 1,500 projects, leading to effective, efficient, and inexpensive solutions to problems faced by Army soldiers fighting in places like Iraq and Afghanistan. This kind of quick turnaround not only gives our soldiers an advantage on the battlefield, but in many cases, it saves lives. Go back to about 2002, and it will be seen that the merging of several factors important to a successful PIF was in play. Dr. Larry Daniel, former director of the AMRDEC Engineering Directorate, and his deputy, Richard Amos, were already discussing how they might combine some existing elements to form a rapid prototyping organization.
Our vision was to be able to do more than just hardware prototyping. Really machining, and then we also had an electronics prototype lab, a circuit card shop, a cable shop, wiring harnesses, those kinds of things. We decided that we wanted to make a turnkey capability to integrate those things together and give the customers one place to come for all of their prototyping needs, really.
Good fortune reigned when another Redstone organization found it no longer needed a new building and offered it up to the AMRDEC.
The way the building came available is there was some military construction money that another organization didn't need, and we were able to convince the Army leadership and the Redstone leadership that the The PIF building was a valid requirement and move it up in the priority list. And so we really were able to get that block of money several years earlier than we would have. We got lucky. The name Prototype Integration Facility, there was a lot of discussion about that, and it really evolved from three thoughts that we wanted to incorporate. One, we wanted to give some credit to the predecessor organization, the Prototype Engineering Division. Two, we wanted to talk about the work that was going to go on there, integrating systems together. And three, the building itself was really central to the concept and to the name, so the evolution was Prototype Integration Facility.
Dr. Daniel assigned Ronnie Chronister, current deputy to the commander, Space and Missile Defense Command, the task of planning for and standing up a rapid prototyping group to be housed in the new building. It was then that Ronnie Chronister met with retired Aviation RDEC Director Tom House, who had previously looked in detail at the opportunity of a rapid prototyping capability for Army aviation. House provided Chronister with two important things. First, an understanding of the gaps the PIF could fill for Army aviation. And second, key organizational and operational features that should be present.
So we met for breakfast and discussed what he was thinking about and trying to establish a meaningful rapid prototyping capability in the RDEC. I had long felt that that was a critical need since we had moved to hunt Redstone Arsenal from St. Louis back in '97. And in that, I told him that absolutely the critical part of this was you had to have a flexible contracting vehicle to support the kind of operations you wanted.
Chronister and other AMRDEC leadership had already identified necessary government elements and key technical and business staff to lead and operate the PIF. Chronister moved to establish the PIF organizational structure and began the long march to putting a large, multi-year support contract in place.
So we realized, though, that we didn't have all the skill sets we needed. We needed to have a contract mechanism that would allow us to go touch any capability that we needed, where I could literally, no matter what I was doing, I could go touch either a large company or if I had some smaller business or mid-sized business and had a specific capability I needed to rapidly integrate into a product, that we could do that as well.
On June 17, 2002, almost a year after beginning the acquisition process, a 10-year task order type contract was awarded to Javis. The Larry O. Daniel PIF, its governmental and industry team, was now open for business.
When we first launched in 2002, it was pretty easy to get everybody fired up. We were on the heels of 9/11. Everybody wanted to do something to help. So, we had that catalyst for change. We were united under one roof to get it done.
It was clear from the first day of operation that the PIF needed a clear organizational and operational concept and supporting policies if it was to become a successful rapid response enterprise. As with any new organization, the PIF had its challenges. The original organizations had very different cultures, and merging them into a cohesive team took time and patience.
There were a lot of challenges. I mean, first of all, we were taking two diverse organizations with two drastically different cultures, and we were merging them into one organization that had a totally different culture from the two organizations that we were bringing together. And we had to really look at how are we going to bring the community together to support the PIF and actually be part of it as we develop these projects together. We also had to look at, if we were going to be a rapid capability, we had to look at all the processes that we were using and how those processes contributed to the time it took to get things done.
Army leadership recognized the key to success lay in team ownership, making all parties involved a stakeholder in the PIF's success.
And then we had some leadership that empowered us and allowed us to do the things that we needed to do to get the jobs done. That reinforced a ownership to us that we were able to glean, to grow, and then instill to other people.
A government-owned and government-operated enterprise follows a more business-like model than most government agencies. For example, the PIF is funded entirely by the customers they support, providing a convenient, turnkey solution.
As a government product lead at the PIF, I'm able to work closely with our customers to help them at sometimes if they are not familiar or if they are not certain of their requirements, then I can help them derive their requirements, take their request for assistance to my team and say, hey, you know, what is the best way that we can help our customer and the quickest way that we can support that.
Management instilled into the PIF, the whole idea that the government and the contractor would work together on every project.
The neatest thing about being a go-go, government-owned, government-operated, is the fact that we provide a technical data package, signed, sealed, and delivered.
In order to streamline its business process, the PIF teamed with personnel from the Aviation and Missile Command's Acquisition Center. By placing contracting personnel directly within the PIF, the team was able to develop a fully digital process for submitting requests from the customer, returning a technical evaluation and proposal in a fraction of the time versus traditional methods. PIF engineers were able to begin their work faster, saving taxpayer dollars, and ensuring that the soldier in the field receives the best solution in the shortest amount of time.
You can have products fast, which we are rapid response. You can have them good. We are technically capable. And we have the processes to ensure that. But sometimes you have trade-offs. We don't accept trade-offs real easy here. We do it fast and we do it good. Our integrity demands that. Our processes are going to provide that, and our dedication is going to make sure it gets out the door when it needs to get out the door.
Customers came slowly, but grew steadily and reached a rate of just over $100 million a year in the middle of 2003. What began as a small organization has grown in size and scope over the last 10 years. And today, the PIF typically has over 200 projects ongoing at any time. Along the way, the PIF developed numerous design solutions for the Patriot Air Defense System to include Tactical Command Station, Battery Command Post, Embedded Data Recorder, Satellite Communication System, Common Data Link Interface, Patriot Fiber Optic Modem, and Launcher Station Test Set. Today, the PIF has approximately 120 government employees and over 900 contractors' employees located at various PIF facilities, and works with over 2,000 companies that participate as PIF team members when needed. When enemy soldier-fired missiles threatened Chinook helicopters in Iraq, the PIF was challenged with developing a cable for manually operating the flare dispensing system to defeat the threat.
And so the bad guys figured it out. They're a very smart and adaptive enemy. And so they'd shoot one, pilot would dispense the flares, and then the second shooter would shoot it right behind him. And so we got a 911 call from Iraq and from an aviation unit to say, hey, we need some help. And here's what we want. We need a cable where a soldier's going to stand on a ramp with this thing with a button on the end of it, and he's going to watch this guy shoot, the flares will dispense, but then he can push the button and override, and that worked. And we didn't lose another Chinook. So for me as a civilian, that was a very powerful moment in terms of understanding our soldiers. And then you think about what the PIF was able to do to support them as a powerful combination. And that was something that I don't think I'll ever forget.
While the Chinook task was one of the early PIF projects for the warfighter, it was aviation Blue Force tracking that most believe put PIF on the map.
One big product that really made a huge difference, I believe, right off the bat for us, and it was really what I think helped us build our name, was once we did Blue Force tracking that people said, hold it, that's a more complex system.
In 2002, Army commanders in the field needed a way to quickly identify friendly units, both in the air and on the ground, to avoid incidences of friendly fire. The solution was the transformational Blue Force tracking, a computer and global positioning system that can provide the location of all friendly forces to any equipped unit, and collates the data into an overall battlefield picture for heightened situational awareness. In early October 2002, the Army approached the PIF with the challenge of integrating Blue Force tracking on 4 types of helicopters. The deadline for this mission was December 31st of that year. Given less than 3 months to complete a task that would normally have taken years, the personnel of the PIF worked long hours, weekends, and holidays to meet the deadline.
Those designs turned into reality, turned into actual systems in a very, very short period of time. So like I said, from here's the money, go do your thing for October to get it done on 250 aircraft spread out across the world, and we need it done by the 31st of December. The PIF came through with flying colors.
Knowing that this technology could save the lives of many of our troops was all the motivation they needed. Aviation Blue Force Tracking established the PIF as a systems integrator, opening the door for other compelling projects. With the increase in the scope and complexity of the PIF's projects came the realization that more robust processes and quality control procedures must be implemented. To accomplish this, the PIF turned to the industry standard ISO system of processes.
We needed creativity, we needed innovation. However, above all else, we needed product integrity. So one of the things we decided to do was establish a quality management system that was overarching.
We had the ISO 9001 stamp of approval. I think it helped some of our customers to rest a little easier knowing that they were going to an organization that had processes and had concerns about product integrity.
By starting the ISO process, it forced the government and JVIS to develop processes, common processes that we would all use and they would use in all facilities and by all projects. And for the first time, that allowed us to control what was happening and to control the quality of our products.
A direct benefit of these new processes, the Shadow 200 communication relay system effectively extended voice communication capability from 15 kilometers to 120 kilometers, greatly improving situational awareness of our soldiers. In 2006, Lieutenant Colonel Chip Carter, project manager for the Army Airborne Command and Control System, or A2C2S, was faced with a major challenge. A2C2S is a very complex system using computers, conventional radios, and satellite communications to provide the Combined Arms Commander with a clear picture of the battlefield and status of all forces. Multiple workstations are equipped with flat panel displays and controls to support the commander and his staff. Furthermore, installation into the Black Hawk helicopter requires major structural and electrical wiring modifications and additions.
And what I needed was a second strategy, kind of a plan B, that they gave us the opportunity to catch up both in time and in resources. And So what we did overall was we went to the PIF and we said, can you build this? Within probably a week or two, they had formulated a plan to take that baseline system, make it a modular command and control system, and basically fulfill all the requirements that we had. In 5.5 months, we took 1,000 pounds off of that helicopter. We took about 40% of the cost of the system.
The PIF's performance on this program was nothing short of outstanding.
You know, we started out with a system that cost the Army $6.2 million a copy, and we were down to $2.4 million per copy after the PIF re-engineered that system.
While much attention is paid to the larger programs the PIF now undertakes, there are always many smaller projects that are equally important in saving the lives of our warfighters. One such project came about when the Army decided they would integrate an M240 machine gun on Black Hawk and Chinook helicopters with an ammo storage and feed can that was originally intended for ground-based systems like the Humvee.
Every 7 to 10 rounds, they were having a jam feed issue. So they asked us to work with a Black Hawk PM, Chinook Program Management Office, and Picatinny Crew Serve Weapons, the weapons gurus in New Jersey. The best part is the first prototypes we put out, gunner said, great ammo can. Real problem is I let go of the gun and in the rotor wash, that lid hits the side of the door. So we decided we'll roll form it and make it like an envelope, bigger button for a soldier's gloved hand. And the bottom line is that makes it work better. It makes it perform better.
During night operations in Iraq, the Army had incidences of mid-air collisions and needed a solution fast. They contacted the PIF.
So the PIF quickly inserted infrared technology into a package that would fit on the back of the Apache quickly. We prototyped it, tested it, integrated it, and then quickly built several hundred units.
When the Army authorized pilots to carry their M4 carbine rifles in their aircraft, it was the PIF that developed a low-cost, easy-to-install solution.
Apache PM's biggest requirement was I need it on the outside of a pilot. So when he opens up that door in a crash sequence, he's disoriented. He knows he's got to take his first aid kit, emergency locator, transmitter, things like this, and that M4. The good part was what we learned on the first prototypes and the first production units going into theater, we force multiplied on the Black Hawk, on the Chinook, on the Kiowa, and a lot of other aircraft. So we multiplied that and put it on almost every aviation asset.
Another area in which the PIF has contributed to the safety of the warfighter has been in detecting and defeating improvised explosive devices, or IEDs. The PIF initially began supporting counter-IED efforts in 2005 with the integration of an explosive detector onto a small robot for use in the inspection of automobiles at checkpoints in Iraq. The system is known as the FIDO PackBot. The U.S. Army Director of Laboratory Management tasked the PIF to integrate 3 systems and support the U.S. Army Test and Evaluation Command testing in 90 days.
FIDO was an explosive sensor developed by Nomadics, and the PackBot is an iRobot robot that the EOD teams were using over there at the time. And so that integration just became the obvious way to get that sensor out to a car.
The systems were turned over to the Robotics Systems Joint Project Office for operation and maintenance in the field. After the assessment, the RSJPO produced many more systems for theater use.
The FIDO PackBot was the first IED effort that we did, and based on it, we then spent about 4 years doing IED projects for JIDO.
Soon, after the completion of the FIDO PackBot effort, the Joint IED Defeat Organization requested the PIF support them in the integration of a number of subsystems into a Cougar MRAP to be known as Recce. The initial Recce integration was completed in 120 days, and after successful testing, the PIF fielded and supported the Recce in Iraq for 3 years. The system was used daily for route clearance, and the success of Recce resulted in a requirement from Iraq for approximately 180 more Recce systems. The Recce was the first of other efforts the PIF produced for JIDO.
So the first project was Recce. That Recce vehicle, what JIDO had was they had a laundry list of items that they wanted integrated into a single platform to see if having all those items in one platform would make route clearance more effective than having them distributed throughout multiple vehicles in the convoy, in the route clearance package. Not only were there IED issues, there were also sniper issues at that time in Iraq. So we put a box on the side that you could open from inside the vehicle. You could operate your robot, put it back in the box without ever leaving the vehicle.
Over the years, the PIF has received numerous awards and recognition for its work, and has had 8 winners in the U.S. Army's Greatest Inventions Awards. These awards are especially meaningful to the PIF team because they are voted on by the warfighters themselves. And due to the many successes of the PIF, in 2008, the name Prototype Integration Facility was adopted at other Army installations. Never satisfied to rest on their past accomplishments, the PIF has continued to evolve its systems and project engineering capabilities and was fully put to the test with the Iraqi 407 project. In August 2008, the Iraqi Ministry of Defense signed a letter of request for 24 armed Bell 407 helicopters. Based on their previous success, the PIF was selected to develop this helicopter. The PIF was considered a natural fit because of its diverse technical staff and its ability to perform the work within a very tight schedule. The PIF's primary mission was to convert 3 commercial Bell 407 aircraft to a military configuration with a suite of communication, sensors, survivability, and armament equipment.
We had less than 2 years to do 3 prototype aircraft, and when you say 3 prototype aircraft, you're talking about doing a prototype, a validation unit to verify that you have your mission kits identified correctly, that your documentation supports that, and then you have an independent team come in and verify all that documentation because you want to be able to easily transition that to industry to allow us to move forward and produce more units in a rapid response manner.
This program helped lay the groundwork for the government to serve as the lead system integrator for complex weapon systems, a job typically handled by large prime contractor teams. On October 24, 2012, the Aviation Program Executive Office and the PIF achieved a major milestone with completion of the first OH-58F Armed Scout Helicopter prototype. This aircraft is intended to fill the most significant gap in Army aviation needs.
We will continue to get better, and we're committed to continuous improvement. So any assignment that we get, we just want to feel like we're poised and ready to respond.
And so I see the PIF is continuing to support and doing the great things they're doing. They play a significant role in reducing the R&D cost and the non-recurring cost of systems. And from an acquisition perspective, that's going to be huge with the budget situation we have in the future. So I think they're postured very well for the future.
The last 10 years have been an amazing success for the PIF, with the promise of even greater achievements in the future. The men and women of the PIF, like the rest of the MRDEC workforce, are always looking forward, always striving to meet the challenges of tomorrow, providing the warfighter with the rapid, efficient, and cost-effective solutions that they deserve, solving problems and saving lives.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the finest such facility in the state of Alabama, in the United States of America, on planet Earth, and I do not know if we will find intelligent life outside of Earth in the years ahead, but if we do, I say with all confidence, Redstone will be better than any facility they have anywhere in this galaxy.
To all the folks out at the PIF and all my friends that work over there and colleagues, congratulations. It's phenomenal what you guys do every day. I'm proud of you and I'm proud for you. You're a lifesaver to soldiers and you're a credit to our community, and I'm really congratulate you on your accomplishments.
I would like to congratulate the PIF team on 10 phenomenal years. Our government and industry team has been phenomenal.
As a member of the United States Congress, I'd like to thank the Prototype Integration Facility for the wonderful career they have had over the past 10 years. You have increased locally our employment base by as many as 2,000 folks when you include not only those that work at the PIF on the Arsenal, but also all the contractors that assist in PIF efforts. It's been a tremendous 10 years I hope that if there's anything that we in Congress can do to continue to support you as you support America, please let us know.
I just want to say congratulations to all the men and women, both in MRDEC and industry, that have been a part of the PIF over the last 10 years. I'm very proud to be the director of the MRDEC now and to be a part of what you all are doing to support the warfighter. But I can also tell you, having come from the PM world and having used the PIF as a resource to provide a capability to soldiers, I'm proud to have been a customer and now be a part of the leadership that makes this organization such a great organization.
There are soldiers that are alive today because of the hard work and the dedication of the prototype integration facility. Soldiers that are alive today, back with their families and their friends, because of what this team has delivered. And at the end of the day, it doesn't get more important than that.